So today in front of me, I have my mill and my mill saw. Um, my plan is to put the mill saw on the mill to get it all set up, so that way when I have a nice day, I can go out and mill a couple logs for some upcoming projects that I have. And I figured I'd go through and show you guys how I do this. I took the saw off the mill so that way I could go and sharpen the chain and get it all nice and ready for the next time that I need to use it. And so I'm going to show you guys how to put this saw on the mill. So the first thing that I like to do is I like to have a nice steady flat surface. It makes this a lot easier of a task. And so I laid the saw down on the ground, so that way the bar is nice and flat. You want to make sure that when you do this, you set it up so that way the bumpers on this one end go up against the dogs on the saw, and the loop goes around the nose cone, or goes around the nose of the saw to protect it. And so then all I have to do is simply feed the saw onto the mill. Nice and easy. Get this other end all nice and lined up. And I have this saw set up for the 36-inch bar that's on here. And so what I want to do now is I want to make sure that there's these two pads that contact with the bar, and make sure as I line it up that those two pads are making contact here in the middle of the bar on both the front and the back. And I want to make sure that the sprocket on the bar down here at the very tip of it is set to where it won't be pinched when I clamp these down. So then the only tool that I need to work on this job today is a scrunch, one of the standard ones that have the 19 and I believe it's the 13. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scrunch and I'm going to tighten these two bolts here that hold the bumper together until the bar gets nice and clamped. And then I'm going to do the same thing down at the other end. You want to make sure to get these bolts nice and tight so that way this bar doesn't move as you're running it through the mill, because this bounces up and down against the bark. And so that's nice and tight. The saw doesn't move. And so now I move down to this end. Okay, so now we're almost done. The next thing I want to do is I want to set my depth. And so on these uprights, there are little dash indicators that tell me the height that the mill is being set to. And so I'm going to initially start milling a board that I've already milled on once before. So for this instance, I want to set my mill to 1 inch because that's the size of the boards that I'm going to be cutting. There goes the chain brake. So to do this, I want to find 1 inch right here on this bar. And I want to just kind of snug these up for a second. And then I want to come over here and I want to set this one to 1 inch as well. So hopefully this shows up on the camera, but on the uprights where I set the depth, you have these markings. And these uprights go to 14 inches at the very top. You can get extended uprights from Grandberg. I believe they go up to like 18 inches. But these markings are dead spot on. So I have complete faith in these that if I wanted to cut a 6x6, I could put it at 6 inches and it would come out as a 6 inch by 6 inch board. Now, I've got another mill this one is a Grandberg mill. One of the things that I really like about this Grandberg mill is the fact that when I go and set it to 1 inch with these uprights, it's 1 inch. The previous mill that I had, I got with a saw. It was a Chinese knockoff mill. I don't know the brand, but when I went to go and set the depth, when I set it for 1 inch, it came out 1.5 inches. So I really like this Grandberg because everything's nice, well made, and it works exactly as it says it should. 1 inch is 1 inch, 2 inches is 2 inches, so on and so forth. So now all I have to do is take the chain brake off, and now I'm ready to go cut some wood. So hopefully we get some warm weather here. Right now there's a couple inches of snow on the ground, and I'll be able to go mill some boards so that way I can have some nice stickers to put in for milling for future projects. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.